Well, I'm on the farm here tonight, and it's trying to rain a little bit, slight breeze. We're down here at the end of June, the 1st of July. Today's June the 30th, and it's late in the evening. Might as well be July the 1st. You might hear some thunder off in the distance. But the creek's in good shape, but it is low. It's August, dry August low, and remains to be seen what the level of this creek will be and the dryness on this farm as we do plow into August. So I thought I'd do a hay update. For the end of June, 1st of July. You know, I don't have a fancy four-wheeler, and but I do have the Model 50 Massey Ferguson. See if it'll start. So I thought I'd start over here at the barn, and goes another deer. They're everywhere. And just kind of show you what's going on. Got the 5055D and the 348 pulled in out of the weather, and got a 2-foot overhang on the barn, so as far as falling water goes, it's kind of staying off my baler. So we've been kind of chipping away at the hay, and we'll ride out in the fields if it doesn't rain here in just a minute. But I wanted to try to get in here before it gets too dark. And I got several videos coming. We've been chipping away at the hay, and I've sold hay. I've been selling hay just about as fast as I can cut it. And this hay right here, and there's 2 wagons back to back. About 300 bales, I think, in these wagons, and they are sold. That hay is sold pending forage test results. This hay stacked down through here, this hay is sold. This hay right in here is not sold, but there's a goodly interest in it. I've sold some hay off of that stack from last year, and off of that stack over there from last year. Some people are interested in a good deal, so they've been taking some of this hay. My Kubota fertilizer spreader, I got the hopper extension, and they didn't send the hardware with it, so I just got a text from the dealer the other day that they have the hardware, and there's supposed to be a little brace that goes across. I know it's dark. It's supposed to be a brace that goes across and kind of stiffens up that frame, so when you do put a ton of fertilizer on here, you know, it'll be a little more rigid. I guess that's the point. Also got what's called the fine application kit, or fine seed kit, and it's hard to see, but if you look at some of my other videos, there's 3 holes in here, you know, pretty good size, about the size of this thing. and it shuts off 2 of those, so you can open the third one more fully open when you have a fine application. And that way, if all 3 of the others are just, you know, barely open, the potential to clog is much greater. So I'm going to try to put that on, and we'll probably be putting down some seed, which I'll talk to here in just a little bit. Coming out of the barn here, we've had a little surprise in this field. I had bought teff grass to plant in here. I was going to rough all this up and try teff grass again. I planted it last year, and the weeds just overtook it in a big way. And I had sprayed this in the spring, and then there was some dead weeds that were in here that I wanted to clip. And as soon as I got in here with the bush hog, I realized that there was something going on more than just weeds. And what it appears to me, is when I planted the teff grass last year, it went to seed. I didn't cut it. It went to seed. It was a disaster. The weeds just took over. And so I'm guessing all this grass is just coming up from the teff seed. And since I hit it with herbicide, the weed pressure is not out of control, but there are some broadleaf weeds down on hugging the ground. And I'm going to come in here with some 2,4-D, I think, and spray it. And I might even put a little nitrogen down. I'm not sure about that yet. But anyway, I'm going to get a few bales of teff grass off of this field, and it extends down that way some. Not sure how much I'm going to go down in there, but the body of this field, I'm going to try to get a few teff grass bales of hay. I reached out to 2 fellas that have mini excavators with a thumb to come in here and finish clearing this field back in the spring, and both of them said they were interested and would get back to me, and I haven't heard anything. So I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to hold up till winter, when it's everything is frosted and, you know, gone down, and maybe in January, February, somewhere like that, I'm going to rent a mini excavator and take a stab at yanking these autumn olives out of the ground myself. Let's get back on the Model 50 and go look at some other stuff. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to try to move this video along. I'm not sure about these thunderclouds, but basically we cut around this field. I think I took 7, basically it yielded 7 windrows, 7 passes around the field. And my goal was to get 300 to 350 bales. And we wound up right at 300. And I've got a customer out of state that wants this hay, and but I gotta pull my core samples and send it off. And they have insulin resistant horse, and depending on the forage test results, they're going to come and get it. We're late cutting, and I'll get into that here in just a little bit. Let me move right along. So one of the things we're doing is the weather patterns in these mountains. We're lucky to get a 3-day window, and it's just been very, very difficult to take hay. And so I'm just taking it a little bit at a time, 200 or 300 bales at a time, and I'm not diving into the edge of the woods, and I'm not diving into the corners of the field like I have in previous years. I'll probably go in there and take some gleaner hay, but it just takes a lot of time to get the equipment into these corners. And we have an ash borer problem up here, and we got limbs that are falling down along the edge of the field. I scouted this field in the spring and picked up a bunch of them, but in any event, I want to be real careful. I don't really want to plow my crone into a mower conditioner into a tree. There goes another deer. So this little plateau right here, obviously we've cut and baled it, and we took this field down here in two sections. Some of the video you've already seen cutting the outer band of this field down here, and we'll just kind of roll on down this way and then over to my low ground. But it's working out pretty good taking these small cuts, because I can get up here in the evenings and rake and have enough time to bale before the dew sets in most of the time. I've had to knock off because of the dew a couple of times, but all in all, it's actually worked out pretty good. It's right manageable, and it adds up. So one of the things I'm thinking about doing is, since I didn't plant teff grass down in that other field, I've got a couple of bags, and I might hit this with Roundup, and I've been pondering putting this back in straight Timothy and up there too. And so I thought I might, spraying herbicides that I spray is right expensive, and I'm thinking it might be cheaper just to hit this with Roundup and plant my teff and get that second or maybe third cutting off of that instead of this grass, and then hitting it again with Roundup in the fall, and planting my Timothy. And then I should have a nice clean field and no residuals. So sometimes these herbicides, most of the time, they come with a residual, and there are plant back restrictions, and you just don't have that with Roundup. So I'm kind of backtracking down in this field again. I made a great speech with the camera turned off driving down through here, I think. But anyway, what I was going to talk about is we had a lot of Timothy in this field down here, and our Timothy has been devastated in our other fields, the other fields that we've been on, and but down here for some reason it has thrived, and we haven't whatever we sprayed on these fields, we sprayed down here. I don't know if it's cereal rust mite is what's taking out the Timothy, in our other fields, or just old age, but you can see right here where I didn't mow. The Timothy is plentiful, and it is, the water table is closer to the surface down here. The creek's just right on the other side of those woods. But anyway, we thought about just kind of going to a mixed grass hay, but really Timothy's our calling card, and so what we're going to do is we're going to try to plant, we'll try to reseed this in Timothy. How much we do across the whole farm, I'm not sure, but that's kind of the plan. I haven't cut any hay back over the hill. That's yet to be done, but we'll get to it. So there's a few other little tidbits I want to cover here before I wrap up this hay update. So I was letting the Massey 1105 cool down the other day, and I usually just kind of get out and walk around just looking for things. Just something I do. But I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a shaft. It's kind of, you see that kind of shiny metal right there? Well, there's a shaft that goes from this pulley. I don't know if you can see that or not. This pulley that these fan belts ride on, and it goes to this. It's called a radial pump, and as I understand it, this is what supplies the high pressure hydraulics to the rest of the system: brakes, steering, PTO, those kind of things. One thing this tractor does have, which I particularly like for our mountains, is it has a master cylinder like a car. It's not power assisted brakes. So if for any reason your brakes were to go out, if any reason your engine were to conk out, you still have brakes. They're not power assisted, so you can control yourself to a stop. And my International 756, I had an occasion where it stalled on me going up a hill, and I could not pump those brakes fast enough to stop it, and I rolled backwards. I didn't have the presence of mind just to let the clutch out, and I had pushed the clutch down to kind of let the engine recover, but it didn't. It just died, and it all happened so fast. I didn't have the presence of mind to let the clutch out to bring myself to a stop, and I backed into a hay rake I was pulling, and but it was kind of a scary situation, even though nothing really came of it. But that's not the case with this one. Now back to that little shiny shaft down there. So there's an O-ring that's come out. I'll try to insert some video right here. And that O-ring comes from a seal that's up in this radial pump. And let me get a new battery. This one's about shot, and I'll be right back. I got a new battery. So the advice I'm getting is basically don't do anything. Just let it run. Just run it like it is until you can get to a better place. I say better place. Run it like it is, and until you can fix it, and hopefully the balance of the seal won't blow. There's a seal in there that's got a spring that holds it down to the shaft. There's like a felt seal that's in there, and then the O-rings on top of that. I think, I'm not totally sure. I can see it in the parts breakdown, and I have a service manual too. But the bad part of it is in order to get that pump out, you have to dismantle the front end and lift it up out of the top. Or if you're an old line Massey Ferguson dealer, they have a rig. I think it bolts onto the side of here, and it's like a cradle, and you can unbolt this pump and just let it straight down. I don't know to what extent you dismantle whatever, but this is not a repair I would be making. I would send this tractor off to have it done. But you know, I think this is a really good tractor, and I want to keep it that way. So that'll definitely be on the proactive get it fixed. But I will continue to run it, and hopefully it doesn't blow. The seal doesn't blow, because when it does, what I've been told is when that seal lets go, I asked the question. I said, well, you know, there's some serious hydraulic fluid that comes out of this pump, and what do I, you know, will I pump the reservoir dry and ruin something else? And the answer I got was, you'll know when it blows, because there will be hydraulic fluid all over the windshield. The fan and the volume of fluid coming out, it'll just spray all over the windshield, so you'll know. But so I'll keep running it, and hopefully we'll make it through the hay season. I'm not sure I'll take it back over the hill. I'd like to keep it down here in the flat where I can you know, get it up on a truck. I don't want to try to get a big truck up on the hill. But on the other hand, I'm seeing flashes of lightning. Now, if the seal blows before I get done, I don't know if you can see it over there, but my Heston mower conditioner will come out of mothball. I wanted to run it this year anyway, and I'll get it out, and we can finish things up. The next priority is mowing this hay down here and clearing this field, and then I'll decide whether or not I want to spray it and with Roundup and plant some teff grass on it. Kind of like the idea of that. We'll be taking all this hay right in here as gleaner hay. And one last thing before I get struck with lightning, and then we'll call this a video. We got the elevator down here, and we're going to be doing some work on it. I've got this section just folded back over, but the problem we got is, I don't know if you can see it here, but this frame is bent. It looks like this elevator has fell, or something's, you know, pushed up against it, like the front wheel of a tractor maybe, I don't know. Worst case, I can take that section out. I can just take that section out or trim it down. But I like to have this elevator full length, which is 24 feet. And the manual I got for this elevator shows a running gear under it. So I don't know if it actually had one, but this thing is, I mean, I think it's a decent running gear as far as something to start working with. And you know, it'll be very beneficial for us. But we need to put some elbow grease into it. But one of the things I'm thinking about doing is putting, maybe this may not happen this year, and we may not get it done this year, but we might put some wheels on it so that, you know, you can pick it up and just kind of drag it around and roll it. This motor is really heavy, and I guess they make hay elevators from aluminum, but if I'm the only one up here, this gets to be a bit of a challenge to wrestle around and lift by myself. But I'm no Superman, you know. Anyway, we'll just kind of leave it there, and I'm gonna get in here before it starts raining and thundering, and I've noticed some little flashes of lightning around, and so again, appreciate you watching. Things are going pretty good here on the farm. The end of July, I'm sorry, the end of June, 1st of July, and we're just going to keep haying all summer. We'll take little bites at a time, and we're just kind of going to take this hay in manageable chunks that works with the day job and whatever help I might have. And I'm enjoying the summer cutting hay, and life's good on the farm. I appreciate you coming along for the ride. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Feel free to leave comments. And got some hay and videos coming where we've already cut. I'll get some of those things out there. We're going to have camcorder videos, drone videos, and then videos off of this camera right here. So you might see a video of each on the same cut over different periods of time, but I turned the videos loose. So enough talking. Massey Ferguson 1105, the Chrome 2801 CV, back over there in the shed, the Model 50. John Deere's down there with the 348 baler in my barn, and we're going to call it a night, and we'll talk to you later.